Ago, when they came to America, they came with a son, a child of theirs, who was 1 year old at a time. And these twins now are now 21, and those are the twin boys he tried to strangle. The story goes that the Nigerian-born medical doctor, Mr. Benjamin Okigbo, strangled his wife to death, tried to kill his sons, twin sons, which went unsuccessful, and then he hanged himself over uncontrollable heated argument in the Greatwood area in Sugarland in Texas. His 21-year-old twin children escaped the claws of death by just a whisker. Police investigations have revealed that it's a murder-suicide as cause of death, denies widely alleged gunshots in their home at 1500 block of Brookstone Lane. Investigation has confirmed that Benjamin strangled his wife, Teresa Okigbo, to death. He then attempted to attack his children. And a few days ago, the sons, according to police report, when the sons have said that their dad was worried about his mounting debts that he was owing. He was very, very worried about the debt. He was owing a lot of money. And this was affecting his performance as a medical doctor at work, and he was very, very worried about it. He had this heated argument with his mom, which they tried to resolve between his dad and his mom. And when they tried to resolve it, to calm it down, his father's temper went higher and higher and higher. It didn't work. They tried to save their mom. It didn't work. So I can't imagine how two twin 21-year-old grown men would be in the house while the argument is going on and could not refrain their father, and he succeeded in strangling their mother to death. That is something one has to question. It is very sad how this man was able to overpower and attack his two sons, although they survived his attack, but with minor injuries, not life-threatening. And then when he failed in his attempt to strangle his own two sons to death, he now went on to kill himself by hanging. There was no gunshot. Both of this couple, Ben and Teresa Okigbo, died out of strangulation. Dr. Ben Okigbo, his full name is Dr. Benjamin Okigbo, strangled his wife to death. He did not shoot himself. He did not die by gunshot wounds. He went on to hang himself, and he died. Obviously, he can't strangle himself. He hung himself, and then he died. When the police arrived, obviously, the children called the police. His daughter called the police. Their children called the police because they have two twin sons and a daughter who does not live in the house. They found two couple, and they are in their 50s, dead. I cannot understand what is going on in the Nigerian community these days. This is so unheard of. It's not in our culture to do such thing. it is very sad, a very sad end to a promising and a blossoming career of an American-trained, Nigerian-born, neutralized, I repeat, American-trained medical doctor, Dr. Benjamin Okigbo. He left the shores of Nigeria 20 years ago for greener pastures. He arrived in America in the company of his wife, Teresa, and 1-year-old twin children, who are now 21, as I mentioned before. And I'm sure the community in his Greatwood area, in Sugarland area in Texas, will be thrown into mourning. They will be shocked. As, because his neighbor has said to the police that he's a very quiet man. The lovely family, they are very quiet. You never hear any noise. You never hear anything coming from the house. Another neighbor said 2 days ago, which should have been on a Friday or on a Saturday, he waved to him. Another neighbor, who is a nurse, is a white lady, said, they're a lovely family. He's a medical doctor, the wife is a nurse. Beautiful family, they're very quiet. You don't hear anything about them. According to what the police has said, according to reports that is coming in, investigations that is going on at the moment, they said that the two twin children who witnessed the painful event, they tried to endlessly pacify their father to allow peace to reign in their family. But the more they plead with their father, Dr. Benjamin Okigbo, the higher he got angrier. His temper went higher. It was uncontrollable. So when they tried to calm him down and settle the issue, it got worse. They said that Dr. Benjamin Okigbo, he kept lamenting how he has accrued too many debts, and he was on the verge of bankruptcy, which was having a huge effect on his job performance at work. As I've said before, you know that in Western world, they do when you are employed, you do appraisals. Your performance have to go higher at work. Your performance have to improve at work. That is why there is constant appraisals. There's always team meetings, because the quality of work have to improve. It's not still. So a man who has accrued so much debt, and he is worried about the mountain debt not going down, obviously it will begin to affect him mentally, emotionally, in every aspect, psychologically. He cannot perform. And somebody who is American trained, a medical doctor, if it's not affecting your performance at work, then your patients are at risk. If you work for a medical institution and your mind is not there and your performance is being affected at work, which means it will affect the patient and you could commit or meet something or do something wrong or something because your mind is not there, you are worried. You can be sued. The organization you work for can be sued. The hospital can be sued. So it's a big risk. So he was really, really stressed because he was at the verge of bankruptcy. And then he saw no way out of it. He just didn't see any way out of it. And he couldn't control it. He took the law into his hands. just completely went overboard. And like I said, his neighbors, his neighbors said, they cannot fathom what made him do what he did, because it was a peaceful family, and they cannot comprehend how a peaceful family can turn into such devastating chaos.
They say he also tried to strangle his two sons. Fortunately, the young men survived the attack.
His neighbor, Tom Sullivan, who is an engineer, mentioned that they are originally from Nigeria, but they are Americans. And he says that he cannot see or comprehend anything in this life that could make him engage in such a devilish behavior that have now ruined his beautiful family. Now those children, the twins and the girl, are now orphans. So can you imagine? Can you imagine the devastation, the effect it will have on those three children? You have your mom, who is a nurse. You have your father, who is an American trained doctor. Good carriers, key workers in the community. Today, suddenly, they are no more. Another of his neighbor, in the name of Rodamo, is a realtor. He's an estate agent. He sells properties and develop properties, sell them. He was in tears. He shook his head and said that he saw Dr. Benjamin return from work 2 days ago, like I mentioned. He said he was smiling. He even waved to him while he drove past his house. He said he heard that the family had been, he said he himself heard that the family had been going through some irreconcilable differences. He said, but even then, that was not the way to have sorted out the matter peacefully. So many families are in debt, especially with this coronavirus. If they were in debt before, this pandemic has even made it worse. But even as saying at that, as both of them are in medical field, and both of you are working because you are key workers, I can't understand that debt. And I'm not in the position to understand the debt. It is so sad that a peaceful home, you now have yellow tapes, you now have siren, you now have blinking lights, you have police cars, you have forensics outside. Something that the neighbors in that street have said it has never occurred in that street. It is a devastating blow to the community.